Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Bonus Points podcast. I'm Joe Garrett, as always being joined by my co-host Ollie Guy.
Oi, oi!
Oh, Discord cut out, right, so I heard everyone else would have heard it.
That's all I did.
Everyone would have heard it. And also we're being joined by a special guest, most commonly known as Muppet on the Bonus Points Discord, but real name is Neil Watts, long-term contributor and friend of the Bonus Points, and about time you joined us on the show. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Go ahead, Ollie.
Just quickly, can I just say Neil is responsible for the bonuspoints.com and is also our Discord moderator. So there you go. That's a little community.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, actually, you were on extra credit. So you were on the other show.
I was actually I think I was the first ever extra credit guest. So that's my
you were the guinea pig.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we listed everything you've contributed to Bonus Points, it would be like a very long list as well.
How long have we got?
Yeah. I mean, you're also at Ollie's wedding, like it's kind of beyond friend of the show at this point. So yeah, it's great to finally have you on. And the game we're going to be discussing is Enter the Gungeon. So before I give you a chance to talk about why you chose it, Ollie, do you want to give a little summary for what the game is for anyone that doesn't know?
Yep. So Enter the Gungeon is a 2016 bullet hell roguelike video game developed by American studio Dodge Roll and published by Devolver Digital. Set in the firearms-themed Gungeon, gameplay follows several player characters called Gungeoneers as they traverse procedurally generated rooms to find a gun that can kill the past. Enter the Gungeon features a permadeath system, causing the Gungeoneers to lose all obtained items and start again from the very first level upon death. There you go.
Okay, right. Now is your chance, Neil. Why, out of every game in the world, did you choose this one for us all to play?
Well, when you asked me to come on, it was a very difficult decision, and I think compared to a lot of the other guests,
if you wanted to come on, or
fought very hard, and eventually I was like, "Well, go on then if you're desperate." And then, I thought very long and hard because obviously, I imagine, unlike most of your other guests, they've probably not watched every single episode, so I've got quite good insight into, I guess, what you like and where things go on the list. I also have insight into the community and what they like. So I felt
we
that
love
this would
bullets. We just love bullets. We can't get enough of bullets
And puns.
So yeah, I guess I knew how much they love it. I've played this game a lot. When I checked, I'd played it for I think 90 plus hours back when I checked when you asked me to come on.
Wow.
It's a really good one to come back to. I get the nostalgia hit because I used to play it when it first came out with my friend Mark. We used to play it on Saturdays with a few beers. Do terribly, but we used to have a great time with the multiplayer on it, which is really good. I love the multiplayer. Even though I feel it's harder, it's still really fun. And I think it would work well for the podcast because even if you play it for, say, 5 to 10 hours, you can have a really good time and appreciate it. But equally, you could go back to it a ton, and there's tons of secrets, variation. The items, I feel, completely change one game to the next, and I feel like it's a really good value for money game as well. So I think it's a good value, great quality, fun. I laugh a lot when I play this game. Something happens, and I really like this game. Obviously.
Awesome.
So, Ollie, do you want to give I know you can give a summary of the game overall, but kind of just talk through what a run is like in a Gungeon.
Yeah, so this is a top-down shooter. Bit there's hundreds of them. Binding of Isaac is probably the closest reference point a lot of people will know. And it's procedurally generated, so you pick your little guy, and then you go into the Gungeon. And I think what you're trying to do is get to the 5th floor, which I believe is the final floor. Until you see the first ending is probably the 5th floor, which is as far as I got. But so what you're doing is you're basically shooting your way through rooms, and the main thing is you're picking up guns, and there's hundreds of guns, and it's not M4 shotgun or whatever. It's those as well as incredibly silly things you wouldn't even believe, picking up a giant bullet that fires guns, or picking up a mailbox that fires letters. Basically anything that's gun shaped that they could think of is included in this game as a gun. And you also pick up items and stuff as well, single use items as well as passive stuff, this one might make your health regenerate or make you run a bit faster. Lots of things like that. And you work your way down fighting bosses, and once you die, and you will die because this game is really hard, you will be kicked back out of the dungeon, and then you kind of run between all of your little crew that like there's one guy that's like, you got to kill this amount of enemies. There's a shop that sells things that appear in the Gungeon, sorry, and there's a guy that like does the lift and stuff like that, and you basically just go and talk to all of them, and then you head back into the Gungeon and try and get further.
Yeah,
is that
so
good summary?
I guess yeah, no, that's good. So I get you kind of touch with like the NPC stuff. Like I guess it goes under the category of rogue light because there is progression. There is a currency that you get when you defeat bosses that allows you to kind of add more items that could show up in the dungeon. And then these NPCs are people that you rescue, and then there's permanent progress. Like one of the main ones, at least early on, is there's a guy who can fix the elevator. So you're always dropping down a big bullet-shaped, of course, it's a bullet-shaped elevator to go down each floor. And so normally when you start every run, you start on floor 1, 2, 3, 4. But eventually, he could repair it so you can start straight at floor 2. Obviously means you're skipping out on like maybe some bonuses you could have gathered in floor 1, but they do give you a little like pity bonus gun. But then, that's as far as I got. But I assume eventually you'd end up doing that, so you could probably eventually go straight to floor 5, I assume, Neil. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I've ever unlocked the elevator that far because I find it much harder skipping the floors. So I think I did the first 2 or 3 and then was like, this isn't really worth it because if I go straight to floor 5, I'm just going to die straight away.
It's quite a nice, like I quite enjoyed when that guy showed up. Like, obviously there's the goal. It's almost like Breath of the Wild, like defeat Ganon. Like, you've obviously got the overhead goal, which is like, okay, like get good enough to be able to beat this game, essentially. But then also I like the fact that he was like, hey, you got to give me 3 keys and this much money. And I'm like, okay, this run, I'm not going to care about winning. All I'm going to care is collecting keys. And then eventually that you have to get like a trophy, essentially, where you have to defeat the main boss of floor 1 without taking any damage at all, which... I'm not very good at this game, so that was like a fun challenge. I'm like, okay, I don't care about winning. Like, if I'm in the first boss and I take a bit of damage, I'm just going to restart and then go and try to do it again because that's my goal. And so, and there's a few of those kind of things that come up, and I really kind of enjoyed that side. And I'm kind of curious for someone who's played a little bit more, like how much more of that is there? Is it mostly I've kind of seen it with that, or do they keep adding extra layers like that throughout?
They add a lot, and they've added so much over the years that when I've come back to it, there's probably still stuff I don't know. Like, there's so much. So there's unlockable characters, which I've never unlocked. Even of 120 hours, never unlocked any of the other characters. I'm sure I could if I was good at it, but I'm also not good at it, by the way. I just love it. Even though I keep rarely successful, and I did set myself some goals when coming back to it for the podcast, of which I did achieve, and I could talk about that a little bit because of stuff I knew about. But yeah, there is more. There is more that you can do and unlock and find out. There's absolutely tons of like secrets that you could. There's one that I discovered when I played for the podcast called like a rainbow. You can unlock something called a rainbow run, and I think on every floor, instead of the regular chest, you get rainbow chests, and it's almost like a roulette board where it like goes around. You get something really unusual from it, so you tend to get more powerful weapons and items, but it's like you get less choice because you can't buy anything from the shop. Like the shop's not really is the no-go in that mode. I didn't make any notes on that, but yeah, I discovered that while playing this time. Did a couple of runs like that, and it's interesting. It makes it a little bit harder, I think. It's a bit
it needs that.
Yeah,
it needs that.
Well, did you ever unlock the bit where you can actually like make it harder? There is like literally NPCs that appear. Sorry.
Is that there's like an altar?
But that's another thing. So there are altars in the game, in the Gungeon, where you can go and like. Some of them are like buffs, some of them aren't, some of them are curses. But no, this is in the breach. So the hub area is called the breach. And in there's a room you can go into. I think it's once you've beat the game, maybe a couple of times. I don't know. I can't remember how you unlock it. But there's someone you can actually pay to make the game harder if you're finding it too easy. And I've never done that. I'm like, no, it's hard enough as it is.
A reward as well for it? Like, is there?
Actually, I don't know because I've never done it. That's a good question. Yeah, maybe. I would thought so, surely, because everything in this game is like risk reward. I feel so there must be something.
I think just quickly a little bit of table setting might be in order. The updates that came out that you mentioned, Supply Drop, which these are all free by the way. One of them is called Supply Drop. One of them is called Advanced Gungeons and Dragons, which apparently included a difficulty adjustment to make it easier. But I don't know about that. And also another one called Farewell to Arms, which they said was the last update, as Enter the Gungeon 2 is coming out next year. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
if that turns out to be the case.
Have you seen the trailer for the second one?
Yes.
Because
I have.
it's 3D, but it looks really good. Like, I know you're thinking, it's
yeah.
going 3D. Well, I think, I mean, it's a short, unless there's another trailer, it's a short trailer. It was actually the trailer, the reason you might not have seen it, Ollie, is because it was during that Nintendo Direct where the stream messed up. And so the trailer got skipped. So like I went to see the trailer and all the comments are like, came here because the Nintendo Direct like stream messed up. But like I actually think it looks really cool, the 3D one in the little snippet that we've seen.
Yeah.
I
also,
had the opposite take, to be honest.
Oh really?
Because I love the original design so much and how it looks. I think it just hasn't won me over yet. I'm really hoping it's good. I don't know why. I just saw it and it was like, it's not that it looked bad aesthetically, it looked great. Like I agree, and that's in so much as that. But I guess I missed the pixel art and that camera point of view. But that's probably me with my old head on. I haven't played this game for like almost a decade, maybe a little less.
What about Exit the Gungeon?
So I saw the reviews for that, and it was apparently very easy, and it just didn't really appeal. So I felt if I want to play Enter the Gungeon, I'll just play Enter the Gungeon again.
There might be someone you can pay to make it more difficult for you.
Yeah,
so it seems like it had its origins on mobile, right? It was like an Apple Arcade game, and then they brought it to consoles. But yeah, I had a little look of it. It's quite different. So it's like side-on, kind of single screen, kind of more platformy, but all the same kind of art and enemies and stuff. But it does feel like you kind of lost something there, right? Because the whole thing is you going out and unlocking all these rooms and filling out the space and that reroll. But I think it's probably like it isn't trying to be, and there is an Enter the Gungeon 2 coming. I don't think this was meant to be that. It seemed to be like hey, spin-off, here's something different. They probably had a deal with Apple to make it.
Yeah. And I think back to Enter the Gungeon, the game we're actually here to talk about. In terms of like a roguelike, they really have nailed the structure. I think really you couldn't do the structure tighter than this. Like the way that it like layers upon itself, and also like the amount of like levers that you have to pull of like your health, your currency, your guns, like all of it is so finely balanced and like so tightly done that I can't imagine structure wise. I mean, it is brutally hard, but I can't imagine structure wise a roguelike being tighter than this. Like this is like textbook example of like exactly what it is that you want to do. And also the same thing with the controls as well. Like the control, I mean, me and Joe both did change the controls, but like they're good because like all you need is aim, shoot, roll, item, and reload. So it's like you just literally have the two analog sticks, and like
I think the default controls, obviously it's preference. Like I think because it's a twin stick shooter, and like loads of the controls were using like the face button, so you had to keep taking your thumb off the aim. So I put all of the stuff I do in combat, like rolling, reloading, like use my item, shooting, I put on the triggers and bumpers, which seemed obvious to me. But like once I did it all felt great. I couldn't even tell you what the default controls are.
Yeah,
now.
I did the same. All mine on the shoulder buttons. And apparently when this game was in development, they had active reload as well, like Gears of War, which I know they added back in as an item. But I think that they were like, oh, that's one step too many. So
there's
like,
a lot.
There's
a lot already going on.
keep it a little bit simpler.
But it's really interesting because it obviously is a really difficult game, which kind of roguelikes kind of have to be for you to be able to play them long enough, so you don't just see credits straight away in like an early run. But like I think the game is also like completely frictionless. Like the fact that so as you go for a room, most rooms you go in, you unlock a teleport point, and then at any point you can just bring up the map and just go straight there. So like say if you get to the shop, then you go to the bottom of the map. Anytime you just go back to the shop and then go back again. And there's no penalization. There's no resource you need to use. Like if you die, you automatically restart. Like once you kill all the enemies, like you automatically pick up all of the ammo. Like on the map, it will like mark where everything is and show you where you've been. Like every like kind of minor what could have been an annoyance or friction point has been like smoothed down, so all of the difficulty is dodging bullets. Really, that's where all of the challenge. Everything else is so fast and streamlined. It's been funny because I've been playing this at the same time as Hollow Knight Silksong, which is completely like Silksong is a game like about friction, like gameplay wise and narrative. It's about overcoming like difficulty. Whereas this game, I wouldn't say is even easier than Silksong. Like, I couldn't beat it. It's really challenging, but because of like the vibe and because that like the experience is so pushing you forward, go again, like it never, I don't know, I never felt off put by it. I never felt like down when I died. I was just kind of straight jumping back in. And so I think for that, it's a very consumable game for that reason.
Mm-hmm. I will add to that though. Obviously it's very hard and you're saying, oh, it's fine, you just go back in. I do feel like the guns are funny and the items are funny, but it is a little bit less funny when it's this difficult. And it's like, I get the opportunity to get one gun in the next floor and it's like, it's an origami swan. It's like, okay, it's actually good or not? Like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. It's too weak.
I got like a pea shooter, and it's like, this is terrible. And it's like, great. Well, that's the only gun I have.
Yeah.
But I think the runs are like, because you're getting mostly like say by the time you're in chamber 3, you would have a good gun by then. So you're normally getting the bad guns early on, and the runs are short enough that sometimes it was okay being the butt of the joke. I found it quite funny.
Yeah, I think I did about 40 runs, maybe. I think I might have done exactly 38 because it does tell you. And I got to the 5th floor once, the 4th floor twice, and apart from that, the rest of them were all 1 to 3. I was just getting. And also, obviously, I recorded the gameplay for this, and every time I recorded it, I did really badly as well. So, of course, that's the way it goes. But my very first run, I got the homing bullets item. So that one I managed to get to floor 3, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to be so bad. And then I didn't get to floor 3 again for about 8 hours.
Do you have any favourite weapons, Neil, that you always are happy when you work? What ones that you like because they're good, or just ones that stand out because they're funny?
There's one you can get. It's called like the crown or something like that, and it just shoots bullets you wear it on your head, and it shoots bullets in like all 360 degrees. But if you can get like an item that gives you homing bullets, it like breaks the game, and it's like insanely fun to like use.
Oh, nice.
It's just a really daft one. That's one. I love that there's a Ghostbusters gun. I can't remember what it's called now. But it's basically the proton pack from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think it's called like Helix gun or something. I think.
Yeah, I love this. A lot of the time you can get the boss's guns. So the boss, the Beholster. I think it's the Beholster. You get.
What does he look like? What does he look like?
It's like the big eye. It's like the thing from.
Oh,
Dungeons
he's got
Dragons.
loads of guns around it.
Oh,
yeah.
The gun.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he's called now, but his gun's called the Beholster, I think. And then you can like you shoot that, and you get little eyes like come and be your allies and fight alongside you.
Yeah, I got that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one. So yeah, I'll probably think of more, but there's loads.
I like the totally rad gun. That every time you have to reload it, you have to do like an active reload, and it will like rank your reload, and it will be like whack or like that was awesome. Like it's so good. The voice lines are so. I feel like it's so funny because the guy's literally like whack, like when you like completely miss it. And that one, and also you can get the gun from Earthworm Jim, which I was like, oh my god, that looks like Earthworm Jim's gun. And then I was firing it, I was like, oh, it's the same. It literally is the exact same gun. It's called like the Heck gun or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but.
Did either of you get the bullet that shoots guns?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So I had actually one of my good runs, but it was so chaotic because so much was going on. So I had the bullet that shoots guns. I then got the shotgun shell that fires shotguns, and you end up dual wielding them. Then I got an ability that makes it so I shoot in both directions. So I was shooting. So you obviously I got a bullet that shoots guns, but the gun is also shooting bullets. And so it's like in every direction, there's 4 things going in each direction, and each of those 4 things are spinning and shooting other things. So I'd go into a room and I'd shoot, and everything would die, but I'd have no chance dodging any bullets because I couldn't see anything because there was so much noise. Like I'd put a clip of it in the video, but I don't think YouTube compression will like handle it because it'd be like confetti on the screen. I also just had one that I really liked. There's just a gun that shoots replicas of planets. Which is really
I got that. Yeah.
It's also really good because sometimes you shoot like a little Pluto out, and sometimes you get like Saturn coming out and stuff. And then another one that I also got just now was one that shoots, like in films and stuff, and they do like a path that like a boat has traveled, and they do like the little line to like show like And they're like, oh, and then we travelled across the ocean. It's like shoots those, so it's like a little boat, and you shoot it, and it will do the line. Then it'll do like a big X for like where it ends up.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So and then,
That's so
but to be
crazy.
honest, one of my best runs, I just used an AK-47, which was just really good because it's just really boring. But AK-47 is just pretty powerful, I guess.
Yeah. Also, I got one that was like I think it was like a cursive R, like the letter R, and it would shoot like handwriting. I think that's what it did. Like that one was pretty.
Yeah, I remember
It's
that
basically
one. I don't know
anything
what
that's
it's a
gun
reference
shaped.
to, but yeah,
Probably
I don't
writing
know
in
what
real
that
life.
is.
I think it might be.
What about so you, Neil? You've kind of mentioned one, but favorite bosses? Obviously, you might mention some ones that we haven't seen, but they're kind of a big part of the game.
I think the bosses on the 4th floor are, like, to start on a negative. I was looking at I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, the 4th floor bosses I find all a bit dull. I really like, it's normally the earlier bosses I quite enjoy. There's one where like it reminds me a bit of Metal Gear Solid, where you fight like a bullet in a tank. I can't remember what it's called. But it's basically like a big tank and it's chasing you round. And I'm sure there's a fight like that in Metal Gear Solid. That's pretty good fun. There's one, I like the I don't think they're called this. There's a siren, like creature boss.
Yeah, it
And
does
that
does
one
a
you've got
poison trail, right?
poison trail, and then like a
Medusa.
silence spell which you have to dodge.
Medusa, isn't it?
Medusa, sorry.
There's got to be
I was
some
watching-
gun pun. Yeah, so
I've been
they're called
watching
Gorgon.
Wednesday
They're called
with my kids,
Gorgon.
and they're called sirens and that. So
Gorgon.
yeah, it's Gorgon.
Okay,
Gorgon. Yeah, I'm getting them mixed up. Sirens are something else. You're right. Yeah, Gorgon. Yeah, that's the one.
The speaking of Metal Gear Solid, this game has got so many Metal Gear Solid references.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it's like, we reference all games, but mostly 90% of the time, Metal Gear Solid, like you get the box, you got Raven, like as a boss, he literally is like, and he even has the same death animation where the ravens come in.
Oh yeah, and it's
You
like
get
shooting the
the-
minigun, right? Like
Yeah. You get when you call ammo in, like the way it comes in is like the same as MGS5, like with the little parachute thing, like literally exactly the same. And the there's all like you get eye patch, cigarette, and it's like it doesn't do anything. Like it's all just like copies of Metal Gear.
They did say that Metal Gear Solid was so. This is their kind of list of some of their biggest influences: is Binding of Isaac, which is obvious, Nuclear Throne, which I've heard of but don't really know much about, Spelunky, Dark Souls, and Metal Gear Solid. And like,
fair enough.
I actually thought of Dark. So obviously, there's the roll, which is you almost don't really think about it, but like that wasn't a roll. Dodging wasn't a thing with iframes that much before Dark Souls. I'm sure there was an example. So obviously there's that. But I actually just think the like the hub area, the breach, is really reminiscent of all of the hubs in kind of every From Software game almost, where like you go and you find NPCs out in the world and then they show up and they might have a shop or dialogue, and just that whole setup of that area, like that has actually stood out to me as being very kind of From Software like early on.
And a lot of the story being told through the item descriptions, weapon descriptions as well.
True.
Not that I read much of it because I was like, it's probably silly, right? Like gun puns is all it's going to be.
But that book does like I sound like Joe now talking about Bloodborne. But like if you read that book, and it does tell you how all the items, if you read between the lines, that gives you like clues as to how the guns and the items work, because it's not always obvious. So like if you read up, I think it's called the Almanac or something like that. If you read that book, it's pretty good. And then failing that, you can go read the wiki if you want to. But if you want to try and just do it in game, that is the best way to do it.
Yeah. What did you do with stuff like that, Joe? Because I didn't look anything up. I just stayed away from.
Oh, what, in terms of wikis and stuff?
Well, like just like finding out what things do, or like finding.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. I know. I always if I picked up a thing I didn't know, I always went and looked at the description and quit. Yeah. Because sometimes it was funny. Like, yeah, what made me laugh. I got like a thing that shoots anvils, and it was like safest and most effective means of dispatching foes with an anvil. You know, it's just be like the little. Sometimes you get a little chuckle, and as you say, Neil, sometimes it will help you know exactly how it works. Like sometimes it's more obvious, but sometimes there'll be like some nuance. There's a gun that I got like just today, and it's called like Unfinished Gun, and it's a gun that's like as if it's really fresh out the forge, and like the description like said something about like, oh, and there's like a timer on it or something. So I was like, because it's really bad, and I was like, if I keep using it, is it going to get finished and get good? But I never got to that point. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think just keep using it.
Well, I died, so see if I ever get it again. Okay, because I was like, am I putting it? I was like, do I just need to have it or do I need to use it? I was like, surely there's something, because I got it quite late. Surely there's something good with this gun.
That's the same. Like when I noticed that some of the guns would start to affect each other as well. Like I only had that once. I had a alien engine or something, and it was like changing my other weapons. But there must be like so many.
Sometimes they combo, and I think they've added something in the update, because I think you can sort of see now an indicator of what item and gun is comboing. If it's comboing,
combining.
Yeah. So
yeah, you can.
You can see it now, but you never used to be able to. Like, I think that's something that's relatively I say recent. It was probably added 5 years ago or something.
And then there's an NPC who was standing between like two arcade cabinets, who was like, give me money and I'll give you like something that matches. And my guess was that they give you an item that matches something that you have to combine with it. Oh,
possibly. I don't recall. I've seen that NPC before, but I'm not sure if I've ever used it, because it's always a bit of a risk to use it, and it doesn't occur very often.
Yeah, I only saw her once, and like she was like, so I was like, well, I got to pay just to see what it is, and she gave me a thing, and I was like, oh, I think this might be combining, but I'm not sure, because I found that one time when I was dual wielding my shotgun bullet gun combo, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was, because I had been just using one of them for ages. I was like, oh, is this a thing? Because it's like so rarely. Because obviously it's random as things comes up. It's so rare that you get to that point. And that's actually when I think of it, because one of the other parts of the game we haven't really spoke about is, so the environment is really reactive, like mostly with just things that get destroyed. Even just you by walking through them, they get destroyed. Maybe that's another Dark Souls thing where you're just rolling through, breaking everything. But then there's also things like you can flip up tables to get cover. There's like explosive barrels, and there's some traps and things, which I thought was really interesting at first, but then I feel like they, apart from maybe the explosive barrels, it's very. I kind of wish there was more of it. I wish there was more things like you shoot a thing and it will move and squash them. There's a few times where there's like a chandelier and you can pull a lever and it will drop and squish them, but it's all very situational and very rare that it comes out. And I feel like maybe they expected players will use it more, or maybe I just wasn't using that stuff enough. But it just didn't seem to be enough stuff for me to play with there.
Maybe they'll do something more with that in the sequel.
I agree with that as well. Like I did use the table flipping. Like that's every time I go into a room, I just flip all the tables because it would be like something for me to hide behind. But I agree with that. But I think it might be more of a problem of like they're just, especially where we were playing, there doesn't seem to be very much variety. Like how many times did I run through that library at the beginning? Like 38 times. Like every single run starts in that same library, and it's like you can shoot the books and they fly around and it's cool. Also, I played it on beautiful mode because obviously I'm playing on the Switch too, so it ran like perfect with the graphics set all the way up. But it's still like it just needed a little bit more variety, because it's just like the library, and then you have the mine, and it's like when you've done it 38 times in a row without really ever getting very far, it can be a little bit tiresome. And I kind of wish there was a little bit more. There was like the guys standing down there that you could like play like mini games with, where he was like, oh, shoot these moving targets. But like the rest of the game, they're really hard. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll try it, but I'm not going to be able to hit anything. But like Joe, I just basically, every time someone asked me to do something or pay for something, I just did it, because I was like, I need to see as much as possible. So yeah, I'll do things like...
That's what you do in real life. Just
yeah, I'm the yes man. You know me. But yeah, the like paying the medics and being like, I wonder what these guys do. They give me full health. I already had full health, and being like, oh. Like,
so when they like smash the fairy on your head. Like Navi from Ocarina of Time gets smashed.
Yeah. I mean, all of the animations and graphics and stuff was all really charming and really good. So I really didn't think it would work on me, like the whole bullet thing. I was a bit like, oh, this is going to be silly. But no, it was genuinely really funny.
I mean, they commit to it. Like everything is gun or bullet reload. Like so when the game's loading, it's like the game's reloading. Like everything is gun themed to like such a comical level. But I guess you kind of brought up quite a good point there, Ollie, about, I mean, it's kind of just roguelike structures in general. So I feel like they don't really start to get interesting until you're maybe 60% through a run. Once you have a few items that are maybe combining and you have a few guns, like the beginning of every run's always boring. And you have to, because you always start off with the same gear. You know, you choose a character, so I guess you could change characters, but you're probably going to find one that you like. So you start off with the same stuff, the same kind of slow firing gun with a long reload, and then it doesn't get interesting until you start getting things that you need to combine. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I give you a chance, Neil. Like, do you kind of put up with the beginnings of runs and the hope of as it will come later, or do you just kind of enjoy the core gameplay so much that you're always kind of happy jumping back in?
Yeah, I never find it too repetitive, to be honest. I always find it quite fun just to dive back in, and I always look forward to finding like different combinations of stuff that obviously sometimes you haven't. I do agree that sometimes you have a run. I feel like more than other rogue lights, this one maybe is a bit more random. Like if you take something like a Hades, like I feel like you get more permanent upgrades that you always take into new runs.
You get a choice with Hades. You're always, even if you're only choosing out of 3, you at least are choosing, I'm going to pick this thing to go with that thing, or I'm going to focus on a thing, whereas this is kind of truly random.
Yes. So I think sometimes it can be a bit unlucky, and it's like, you get to like, I don't know, the first boss, and you've still got your starter weapon. You've been a bit unlucky and had a rubbish gun. It's like that. It can get like that. But then if you sort of push through, it can go like the other way. So I always try and persevere and keep going. But yeah, I agree. That's probably the only negative thing I'll say about the game is like, I think sometimes it can be a bit unlucky with the items and the weapons you get.
I think basically as soon as you're able to like, pull one lever to like max it out. So for example, a really good example of that is the item where every time you flip a table you get money. Like when you get that item, you're going to have a good run, because every time you go into a room you get like 30 coins. So it's like, right, I'm going to go to the shop, I'm going to buy absolutely everything. But it is, especially at the level that I was playing at, it did feel like the whole time I was waiting for that to happen, because like I'm not good enough with the starter weapon to like, really roll with it. And it would literally be like, okay, I guess I'm going to die, and it's going to say I played for 7 minutes 45 seconds. 7 minutes 50 seconds, like always the same amount of time. I'd always die in the same place unless I managed to pull one of those really good things, in which case it would just be like, you're on fire at that point.
Do you feel, Ollie, you're kind of like bullet hell shoot 'em up games, like does that skill transfer over to this, or is it a little bit, did it feel different?
I think so. I think it did. It was harder than I was just like, I'm going to be really good at this, and I wasn't. So I think the normally the shoot 'em ups that I play are not dual stick. It's like you just fly upwards. So that's one thing. But recognizing bullet patterns, I'm quite good at doing. So that was all fine. But yeah, it's just hard. I really felt like in this game I was really relying on the items and the weapons I picked up. Like I could not get very far with my just my starter pistol. And I also found that when I did get hit early on, it was always through something that I felt like wasn't my fault. Like an enemy would spawn right next to me. Like the worst one is the Iron Maiden, the thing that like opens.
Oh yeah.
And then like I would go into a room and sometimes it would be like the corridor and the Iron Maiden's at the end of the corridor just in front of me. And I'm like, I can't do anything. Like, all I can do is stand
so
there
just to
and
explain,
get hit.
The Iron Maiden, so it shoots out like in every direction, but then those bullets stop and then they come like target you. Like, that was really brutal. And then you can only hurt it when it's
rough.
open.
Yeah. They would sometimes knock me down from like full health down to like 1. Like just from, but I've killed hundreds of them now because I've done 40 runs. I've killed so many of them, but yeah, I really felt like you have to pull the right thing. And I also felt a little bit like maybe because there's been 3 loads of updates, we're already kind of on the back foot of like, there's not 20 things to learn, there's 60. It's always like, oh god, like quite hard to keep track of all the different items, what they're doing. Obviously you can read it, but like you still have to use it for the first time and fire it for the first time. And then because there's so many items, so many more items than there was when it launched, you have more first times. So, which is exciting and cool, but also means it's quite hard because you don't always know what your gun's going to do, especially if you don't want to waste it. So, yeah.
I'm curious, Neil, about the... well, first, Ollie, did you play any multiplayer, any co-op?
I did not.
Okay. So, yeah, in that case, because no, I didn't either. So I'm kind of curious how that works, because it seems like that's the main way that you enjoy and play it, and we didn't experience that, so I'm kind of
it's not a way I've played it in a long time, but way back when I used to play it a lot with my friend Mark. We're both really into it just after it first came out. So what happened? You don't get to play as two of the regular Gungeoneers. One of you, the second player, I guess, plays as the cultist, I think the name is. You can see them in the breach. They've got like a purple robe on. They're hooded.
So you speak to them to start co-op.
Yeah, that's it. And then they start with a dart gun, and I think they have an item that allows you to resurrect. So that's a consumable item, so they can use it once to resurrect the other player. Or if they die, you can then, as the other player 1, you can go and pick up that item and then resurrect them. You then appear, I think you can then appear as a ghost as well. And I think there's a way of finding like it's kind of like Left 4 Dead, when like someone dies and then you can find them and like get them out of a room. It's a bit like that, where you go and get them out of like a coffin in a room, so you can get them back that way as well. But I think the multiplayer makes it harder because you don't get any more currency or guns other than the like starting dart gun, which is pretty weak.
You don't get any pickups at all?
No, it's like you got to share all the resources. So whereas you've got the extra
player...
Oh,
sorry, I thought you mean like from when you start it, you don't gain any guns. You just mean you get the same amount as single player.
Yes.
I was going to say,
no extra guns, completely ruins the game.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, and it's good fun, but I'd say it's harder because you're not getting any extra health drops, and you're taking probably double the damage if you're both bad at the game. So it's quite hard. I'd say it's harder the multiplayer, but still very good fun.
I guess also when you're by yourself, you kind of learn the enemies and their shooting patterns, and a lot of them, if they're shooting at me and if I semicircle around them, they're not going to hit me, and I know they're targeting me. Whereas if there's someone else, there's more like stray bullets going about, so it's probably a little bit harder to predict because I guess the enemies are targeting two different characters.
That's actually what you just pointed out. Where I've played shmups before, I know that they're trying to get you to strafe around them. So like quite often their bullet patterns will be in a way that traps you against a wall or something, and I know that it's better to just kind of try and stay as still as you can and like move to the side. Saying that, in my gameplay I'm doing both, strafing all over the place.
I guess, but here is I could go in a full circle around an enemy, whereas your games are normally a tunnel.
Stuck at the bottom.
So you're gonna at some point you're gonna like I can circle infinitely for like some enemies. So I guess that's probably where the difference is.
Joe, did you play as the character who has the little dog?
Obviously first. Obviously, when you had to pick as one, I obviously went as the dog first, and then I eventually kind of went back and forth between the pilot and the Marine, or the one that looks like Master Chief. Is it Marine? Yeah. And they're quite boring abilities. They were quite like reload quicker, or like things are cheaper. Like the pilot has like a thing that they can try and pick the locks on the chest that was quite good. So they had quite boring stuff, but the game was so difficult. I was like, you know what, this is the stuff that's going to help me get further. So I kind of went back and forth between those two. How about you, Ollie?
Exactly the same. I just stayed with the Marine though. I did try everyone, but I seem to do best when I play as a Marine, so I just stuck with him.
Yeah, I think they reload quicker, and then they just there's a better gun handling, right? Like that's like their main.
Yeah, he's more accurate, which is just unbelievably helpful, because when I did notice that when I changed and would use like the AK, it would be like bouncing around, whereas this little Master Chief dude basically had like a laser gun for every single weapon. And also some of the best guns in the game are like ones you really need to aim. Like the M1 Garand is so strong, and that's really good because but with him it's just like as long as you're kind of pointing in the right direction, he will find the guy and hit him, which is really helpful. But yeah, maybe that was boring of us. I don't know.
Yeah. What about you, Neil? Do you have a main?
I guess I do now, because in this run I made a point of, I always knew that you could go and like, there was like a true ending to the game, which I'd never achieved, and I wanted to do that while I was playing for the podcast, and I managed it with the Hunter, who is also my favourite character. It used to be, when I first started out, was the Marine, because they're more easy to play, I guess, but then when you get better with the Hunter, I feel like the Hunter is the better starter, because the crossbow is quite powerful. So if you're good with the aim, like you do well with it, and if you can time it right, you can clear rooms really quick. Did you notice that when you cleared rooms very quickly and efficiently, you tended to get more items? Because the quicker you clear rooms, the more efficient you are, the more chance you are for a random item to drop.
That's why I never got items.
Yeah, really.
No, I mean,
but yes, it's why you should always use the better gun. So in not just saving for the bosses, because you can get like lots of drops by clearing rooms efficiently. And so in the lore, the characters all each have like some degree of baggage in their past. And at the end of the game, you shoot yourself, or sometimes when you die, you see that I guess view comes up, that scope comes up where you get shot, and then you go back in time. Not my mic. You go back in time, back to the breach. When that happens, you're just going back in time, obviously, to before you run. But for the true ending, you need to craft a bullet which will allow you to kill your baggage from your past. And so it's really hard to craft the bullet, because you have to do, I won't go over them all because it'll be here a while, and it's a bit of a spoiler, I guess, for people who want to figure out themselves. But basically each floor has some really difficult thing you need to do to get an ingredient for the bullet. And then on the 5th floor, there's a gunsmith, not a blacksmith, a gunsmith. And the gunsmith, you take all the items, and you don't have to do it all in one run. You can do it over different runs. You can take those items to the gunsmith. They will craft you the gun that kills the past. And then if you then complete a run with the bullet, once you've got that, you have it forever. So like you don't need to do it again. Once you complete a run, you shoot yourself again, like you do at the end of every run, with the gun that kills the past. There's an amazing like cinematic, which I'm gutted. Sounds like neither of you've seen it.
Oh, I'll watch it on YouTube. But yeah,
yeah, it's really cool. I love it. And then you end up going back to your past, and to deal with the baggage, which is for each character, it's a unique scenario. So for the hunter, she goes back to this. Like she finds this mad scientist. I think the hunter is like from 1,000 years in the past or something like that, if I remember correctly. And this like mad scientist has got her original dog, like it's this little blue dog, and he's like a Frankenstein type scientist, and you have to fight the monster. Right. So you fight Frankenstein's monster, or whatever it's called in this game. I did it. I managed it. Like the first time I did the boss fight, I got it, and I was like, great. Like I actually managed it on the first run. It wasn't too difficult. And then you like save the dog, you save Junior, I think the dog's called, and then that unlocks you. That's like a true ending. So like all these games is like you complete it and then you're made to feel bad that it's not a good ending, so you've got to go and do the even harder correct ending. That's one of the good endings. And then you unlock a costume for the hunter. I think it's like a dog outfit, and then you can also you get her original dog to go around the dungeon with, like her dog from 1,000 years ago comes back to the future with her, and you can like play with that dog. So like, that was cool. Like I've never done any of that stuff. And that's like tip of the iceberg. Like obviously there's all the other characters. There's other hidden bosses as well. There's hidden levels. I think there's like equal amounts of hidden levels as there is real levels. And I think I've been to one of them once. Yeah, so...
God, so there's all this going on, and I just ran through a library 38 times. This other stuff happening.
You do kind of get the sense that there's more going on. Like you run into a room, it'll be like an altar, and you click on it, it'll be like do nothing. It's like, okay, this will come into play maybe at some point. It never did for me. Like I guess the thing is with games like this, that with these secrets is, I'm someone who tries to avoid looking this stuff up. But there's sometimes it's hard to know, is this something that I will realistically work out myself or will present itself to me? Or is this a thing that I need to look on a Reddit forum, or else I'm never going to know? And like, even for, it's like Animal Well. I realized I completed it, had a good time, did some secrets, but I realized there's stuff in here that's been designed to be solved by a community. And I guess with this game, I'm not sure how much of it, like which side does it mostly sit on?
I would say it's more on the community side. I don't think anyone... So that altar, I know there's like that's a piece of armor that you have to take from a hidden level, finish that floor with it, and then take it to that altar. And then you can't get hit in that entire time, otherwise it disappears because it acts as armor for you. So, and I only know that because I've read it on a wiki. Like, You need to read the wiki. Anyone who says otherwise is lying.
I got a little hint of it when I went on Google and I wrote, "Someone help me, please. This game is absolutely impossible. What the hell is going on?" And it took me to a Reddit post, and it was like, "Oh, a lot of new players do this. Make sure you find the secret rooms. You can only find them using a gun that's not your starter gun." And I stopped reading there because I was like, "Okay."
It says that in the game, to be fair, because on the starter guns it says won't reveal secret like rooms or whatever.
Okay. I still never managed to reveal one, even though I knew that it was like it needs to be in a place that exists in the map. Like there needs to be space for it. And I would kind of shoot along the walls. I don't know what I was expecting to happen, but
there's one in the tutorial.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
They make you do it.
We did the tutorial.
No. It's just in the. I just found it in the tutorial. But yeah, no, I found a few. So the secret rooms that I found often just would lead to like at least I didn't discover a crazy new world behind them. They often just led to like bonus rooms in that. I can
tell you the one from the first level if you like, because that's quite a simple one. That so in the first Gungeon, first floor of the Gungeon, you probably went to a room with a fireplace, which often didn't have enemies in. In fact, originally, I swear, when it first came out, there was never enemies in it, and then I think they've introduced enemies as time's gone on. You'll probably notice in that room there was also a water barrel. If you either have a gun that shoots water or an item that produces water or a barrel, you can put that fire out, go through the fireplace, and there's a hidden level through there, I believe. I think you have to let off a blank, go through a secret wall, and then you can get to that. And I think that's the only secret level I've ever been to because it's like the easiest one to get to.
Yeah. Well, you can buy a water gun, can't you? From the shop quite often sells a water gun, so...
So that's like the first one.
Do you know what the deal is with the minecart room that never has any enemies?
Oh yeah, it's just vast. It's just vast.
Yeah, so that one is part of the I was telling you about crafting the gun. So one of the items for the gun, sorry, not the gun, the bullet. One of the items for the bullet is the gunpowder. And to get that, you've got to so there's like hidden tracks, so you can't see them. But if you get in the carts, you can like move around, and then you have to sort of roll between the carts, and then eventually you get to the end. But it's quite easy to make mistakes and fall out, so you've got to be very careful. But yeah, that's what that one's for getting that item to take to the gunsmith, who will eventually craft you the bullet that can kill the past.
Nice. I'd like to make a recommendation to the developers of this game. If they're listening, I've got an idea.
If they're listening in 2014,
I don't think it would ruin the game. I think what the game needs that would have made my life a lot easier would be if it just told you if the gun you picked up was better than the one that you had.
No,
because I wouldn't always. No, because it's annoying. Like when you have to start.
Who says what's better? Who says what's better?
But if you but I picked up a gun, Joe. That was a frog that blew bubbles. And I was like, does it actually do anything? Or is my starter pistol actually better? And then I would die trying to figure it out. And it's like, I don't have time to keep dying. Like,
that's why I
love the experimentation. I love you got to work it out. Because like, I'm sure people would have different favorite guns and ones that would be, some are good for utility, but like their DPS might be not as good. And there's one that would it will poison them. Doesn't do much damage, but if I poison them and then keep switching between my other one, then that's a good combo between them. Yes. So it's so hard to, like, I'm sure there's community tier lists that if you wanted, you could Google and have up. But like but I bet everyone who did that would make a tier list would have a different one, like, so.
You're talking about crazy stuff. I'm talking about like, is my revolver better than my Desert Eagle? That's where I'm like, I need to know which one of these is worth using.
It's like, the revolver does more damage but only shoots 6 shots. The Desert Eagle does less but shoots 10. So which is better?
Does it do less? I don't know. Does it do less? Just tell me. It needs to tell me because I don't know. I don't know which one to burn. I mean, to be fair, I very, very rarely actually run out of ammo because there is ammo boxes everywhere. It looks like you're going to, but you.
And that's another thing the Marine has, right? They have an ammo box they can drop as well, which does help you out.
Yeah. Has anyone got anything? Oh, I've got another thing actually that's very, very generous and not like this game at all, but it's very clever. Is when you pick up a health kit and you already have full health, it puts them in the shop for you to get them for free. And that is such a good idea. That was
not in the original game. They added that as a little update at some point. It was quite early on, but it wasn't there originally.
But great update, because all you do is if you leave other items lying around, they get stolen by a little rat. He leaves a little note saying like, "Ha, stole your stuff."
Oh yeah.
So did you ever like actually see the rat?
I
or
did
you
see
only
the
get
rat.
notes?
I did
You
see
did
the
see
rat.
it. Great.
Yeah.
I did wonder if you'd see the rat.
Yeah, like I left the
I-
room and then came back, and then I saw them trying, and they just ran off. They're trying to steal my ammo.
Scurries off.
Right, that's where the note comes from then. Right, I thought it was
Yeah.
like, I thought he was like taking items that you haven't seen yet, and then he was like,
No.
"Oh, come find me." Because also there's cheese around, so I thought that was something to do with him. There's like wheels for cheese. Like
There's loads of cheese on the
randomly.
tables that you flip, which I just thought was quite kind of almost for the. It's just funnier flipping a table with cheese on than just flipping.
Oh
it.
yeah.
But you know that health thing I didn't realize, because when you go to the health, it has like a little thing that says like save it for later or something, and I thought it was just telling me like save it for later. So I was like, okay. So I just didn't pick it up. But the rat never takes the health, so I'd always leave them lying around. And then I did it once by accident, picked it up, and I was like, oh, I had full health. What a waste. And then I saw the health vending machine thing, and I was like, oh, it means save it for later in that way. Got it.
My 2 tips for this game. You want to take tips from me because I didn't do very well, but I think these are good. Basically, don't do anything until you've uncovered the whole map. Don't buy anything. Don't open any boxes. Don't do anything until you've uncovered the whole floor, and then you kind of know what you're working with. And when you have uncovered the whole floor, just spend all your money, because you can't take it with you, and you are going to die. So just rinse everything you could buy. Doesn't matter what it is. If you've got a bit of money left over as a blank, just be like, I'll take the blank, because.
So same with
what am I
blanks
gonna do with
actually.
the cash?
Your blanks replenish each floor, so there's no point
Yes.
hoarding your blanks. Also. You can you can destroy if there's a locked chest and you know you're not going to be able to open it. Destroy it, because you can still often get like a worse item if you destroy it. It's a nice little tip. Also,
Yeah, actually, Muppet did actually tell me that. Oh, sorry.
Also,
Neil.
also
Just tell me that.
rolling does damage as well. So if there's like say low enemy, like no, I always get killed by those slimes because they actually like track you. And if there's like lots going on, but you can like roll through them and just squish them, which like that
Oh, I
can
didn't
help
know
me
that.
out quite a lot. And that's
Sweet.
the end. That's the end. That's the end of the tip section. Unless you got any, Neil.
He's got
There
millions.
is like a good tip, which I don't always take advantage. If you've got 2 really good guns, it can be advantageous to switch between them after you hit the reload. So if you hit reload and switch a gun, and then go to the other gun, use that, and then switch back, there's no like penalty. So you save the reload time. So you actually, if you're in a boss fight, it's quite good, or even if just a regular room, you get that continuous like.
You don't even need to
shooting.
do that. If you shoot a gun and it's got like 1 bullet left, and then you switch to another gun, and then reload that, it reloads. Basically, when you reload, it reloads all your guns. So you could switch through, not doing it, and then go to the one with the quickest reload. Like I exploited that quite a lot. If there was a gun that I knew had a long reload, I'd never reload it.
What?
Yeah.
So reloading your gun reloads all your guns?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm just on top of my reloading, guys. I'm always walking around with full clips, so I didn't realise that was.
Just never
that was
shooting.
happening.
That's your
Another thing-
problem. You're hoarding all your bullets.
That's why I was rubbish at it. Yeah.
Did
I ain't
either of you
spending
come
those.
across mimics?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
They're really tough.
That sucks, man.
So like
yeah.
always shoot the chest first once, and then like that's just a surefire way of like avoiding them. There is a little animation if you're paying attention that when you first enter the room you can see it, but it's very subtle and easy to miss.
We
So
get
I
it, guys.
always
You play
shoot.
Dark Souls. You don't have to.
Yeah.
The mimics like that.
I think you mean you play Dragon Quest, or actually Dungeons and Dragons, probably. even
Or
before
Dungeons
that,
and
right?
Dragons.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually they probably didn't, but they probably know it from Dark Souls. I'm not saying Dark Souls. I mean, mimics have been in like Dungeons and Dragons
Every
and
game.
fantasy stuff forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
synonymous. Anyway, I'm curious, Ollie. So Neil thinks he knows you so well. He thinks he knows both of us so well, as he said at the opening. He's watched every episode, and he picked this game thinking that we'd like it. And we obviously we haven't got to the list yet, but I'm just kind of just general. Like I haven't got a good sense of your vibe for how positive, negative, neutral you are. Like you've mentioned that it's hard a lot, but you generally seem
I
positive.
like the game.
Okay.
I like the game. Great on paper. I love this game. In
Okay.
practice, I do like it. It's just a little bit too hard. Like if it was like 10% easier, I'd had such a nicer time. Especially because, if you've been playing it since 2016, great. You've probably seen loads of it. But if you've played it for a month or 10 hours like I did, it's a bit like I played the intro 40 times and I never got to see anything more than that. But at the same time, I'm a bit like, how many more times can I play the intro and it's still worth seeing what comes later, because like I just don't have that skill built up. Like I'm still going to be practicing, and I really didn't feel like I got any better at it in the whole time. All I felt like, which actually I feel like with a lot of these kind of rogue lights, is that the ones where you unlock permanent upgrades, in this one being the shop, you buy stuff to get added in. It's almost like, oh, I guess I have to play the intro 30 times in order to get enough good stuff to get to the end. And I really couldn't shake that feeling in this, where it was like, well, I died. It's like, oh, of course I did, because I haven't yet got enough of the good stuff to, within the pool of items.
You don't get such a direct buff like that. Like a lot of roguelites, like Hades, for example, you do just outright kind of get stronger. Like each run that you do. Obviously, Hades is different. Hades tackles it in a different way by having story and more unique. Each run is more unique because of the characters that you meet and the new dialogue, which is different. And so this doesn't have that, but you aren't just getting stronger. Like all you're doing is adding more
to the pool of things, right? But so many of the things in the pool are a joke. That like you need to add more good things so that you have the good stuff that you can actually use. Because I did really find that when I'd pulled one of the levers too hard and I had homing bullets or I had unlimited money, basically it was like, oh, I would do so much better. Like I would just almost steamroll through up to floor 4 or 5. But yeah, I really felt like, God, I just hope I pull something good, because otherwise I'm just going to be firing this same gun I've been firing for 10 hours until I die, because that's what will happen, because it's so difficult. But anyway, Joe, same question to you, mate. You flipped it on me.
So I think that the secret for not finding the difficulty of putting is to alternate playing it with Silksong, and then everything will feel like running through a daisy field. I think just because of the roguelike structure, like obviously you die a lot, but I'm like, you're meant to. Like that's the game, is you keep dying, but you are kind of gradually getting. I guess I felt like I was getting better. Maybe that's the difference. Like once I kind of learned to really, like I used to really focus on like my shooting and at the enemies, and then eventually I was like, no, you know what? Especially with the bosses, just focus on dodging. Like when I can, I'll shoot, and I'll be almost like blindly firing in their direction and mostly hitting them. But all I'm focusing on is me and dodging. Once I did that, I think that I really improved. And yeah, like so when I died, like I did feel a little bit like, okay, I've got to do the beginning bit again. But I was always looking forward to what I was going to get. So the difficulty wasn't going to be a thing that I was going to talk about a lot, other than it kind of coming up from you. And like I do feel like this is a game I'll leave installed on my Switch, and I think I was probably playing it too intensely for like a shorter period, because I played it mostly kind of in the last couple of weeks and only a little bit before, and so I probably had longer sessions of it preparing for the podcast than I would if I was playing naturally. It might be I've got a train journey for an hour. Oh, what am I going to play? I'm not currently playing a game on the Switch. This will be a good one just to load up and do a run of. I think that is probably where this game would be best for me.
Yeah, I think the problem that I had is that the first run I did really well. The very first run is I got to the 3rd floor and I had the homing bullets and I had like an AK, and I literally was just like, oh, this is great. And then I just didn't see that again. For so long. I did those first areas again with nothing coming through like that. But just on the difficulty, because I don't want everyone jumping on me and telling me that I'm a wuss because I couldn't do it. I actually got further than Joe. But also, one of our commenters, Adam OY6NC, he writes all the time. He wrote this lovely comment, which I think is not just for me, who struggle with difficulty, but for everybody who might have played along, that says, I'm anticipating you guys may not have finished this game in the month that you had. And I just wanted to reassure you that Gungeon is hard. I have cleared many, many roguelikes, and Gungeon was a lot more challenging than I expected. Progression is extremely slow at the beginning, to the point where it did feel demoralizing at first, so don't feel alone if you too felt this. It's very common sentiment about the game that I've learned. Also, as someone who did complete the game, I think you can get a pretty good complete experience of the game without ever actually clearing a run. So wherever the game ends up, don't feel too bad if you didn't finish it. And I thought, that's very nice.
To be clear,
and then also,
my point wasn't I'm good and you're bad. I was talking about...
No, it sounded like it was. It sounded like it was.
About this
also,
most of my favorite games are really hard, and I'm not good at them, and I die a lot. And so I think I'm fine with that. I think it's more down to that.
The guy that reviewed this game for PC Gamer said it was the hardest game he's ever played. So it's not just me. It's not just me. It is hard. It is
I like
hard.
how you've researched other people.
Because that's one of the things I googled was like,
hard.
why is it so difficult? Because especially because I'm good at these sort of games, so I was like, what is going on? It's so difficult.
It's definitely one you benefit more than other roguelites by knowing the fights. Like with the bosses, if you do a boss without getting hit, you get that extra heart, like the bullet, like you get the floor's bullet, and then that gives you an extra heart. So once you learn the probably first 2 floors of bosses, and you're most of the time going to complete them without taking a hit, that's 2 extra hearts. So like once you've got that down, that's all automatically makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah, and all I was saying in terms of difficulty was that the pool is so massive of weapons, items, enemies that it's like extra difficult to even learn it at this point because we're already on the back foot. Like we weren't there for version 1, so we didn't learn version 1. It's like we're learning all 4 versions in one go. So it's just tricky. But like,
but for me, that's the fun.
Cool
is like I would be if I would get to the point where I keep seeing the same guns and I'd be like, oh, I know this one, I know how to do it. Like that, I would lose a little bit. Like I like finding a new thing and just seeing like, okay, what's it gonna do? And like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But that's all part of the joy. Is kind of the craziness and like the comedy of seeing these weird guns, or sometimes they fire in an interesting way. And you know, like I hope it would also be good, but if it's not, but it's funny, like I guess I'm fine with that still.
It would always be funny. It's always funny as well. When it's bad, it is always funny. Like, and I will say there's so much content that almost every single run I saw something new. Almost every single one. So yeah.
I feel like, did either of you get the hero pig? I feel like I have to mention the hero pig.
No, what's that?
Oh, do I spoil it or not? No, because Joe's going to continue playing by the sounds of it. If
I've
you
got
get
it on
the
my
hero
Switch too. I'll
pig,
play it.
I want to hear back from you, because that is probably
Is that
the
a good
most I've
gun?
laughed at an item. And at first you probably will be like, why did he laugh at this? But eventually you'll understand why, and it's so funny.
I'm looking for that. I just want to quickly mention, because I didn't say my favorite boss, but the Amoconda. Did you see that, Ollie? The snake.
Yeah.
That was it's
Very
a
clever.
snake boss, but like that moves like classic Nokia phone snake and shoots like that. That I thought that was like a it kicked my butt, but I thought that was really that was a really like it's just like when I saw it was like a snake boss, and then when I saw the way it moved, I was like, oh, they're doing this. That's great. I thought that was clever.
I think it also eats a pellet, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, and then it gets like
Pellet
powered
spore
up.
that goes for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, I just like the my favorite boss was just simply the one that's like two bullets together. Like this is fun fighting them, and once you get the hang of it as well, you can kind of strafe around them in a way.
That's another Dark Souls kind of reference, because when you kill one, then the other one gets powered up.
He goes mad.
Like,
He goes mad. Right. Before I move on to questions from the audience, Muppet. Sorry, Neil. I understand that you
He
have.
keeps insulting me.
I know, you absolute Muppet. I understand that you might have a quiz for us.
Yeah, I thought while I was playing the game that there's so many references to other games in this game, and a lot of those games are on your list, you know, the bonus points list. So what I thought would be a fun little quiz would be to ask each of you, like in turn, and what the name of like an item or a weapon in Gungeon, and if you can guess what game that's from. I feel like there's a mixture of really easy ones and really hard ones. So
give me the easy ones, because Ollie will be so good at this.
I tried to make it fair. So what I'll do is I'll keep track of points, and what I'll do is I'll offer it to one of you first, and if you can't get it on the first try, I'll pass it over to the other person, and I'll try.
May
and
I
keep
ask a
track of
question
scores.
about the rules? Are we allowed to
Sure.
look up a picture of the gun?
No, that's too
I
easy.
feel like that
that's too
would
easy.
No, okay, all right.
No, I think you're overthinking this. Don't worry, it's not. It won't be that hard. So, for example, first question to Joe, BSG.
I think that's a reference to Doom, I think, and the BFG.
Yeah, so that's an easy one.
So what does it stand
then-
for in Gungeon? Do you have it there?
Do you know what? I've not written that down.
Oh.
But obviously
probably make a guess.
not the word that we won't say now. The next one is the Master of Unlocking. Let's
Is
pass it
that
off.
for me?
Yes.
That's
Sorry, Ollie.
that's Resident Evil. That's
Yeah,
Jill
there you go.
That was a layup giving
There
that
we
one
go.
to
Oh, well
Ollie.
done. He even knew what exact reference. That was great. Yeah. I
So
knew you'd
that's
know
like the
that
really
one, so I
bad
tried-
like VO, isn't it? Like famously.
yeah,
But
Isn't it
Jill, the
line
master
where
of
you're the
unlocking.
Master of unlocking.
Yeah.
yeah. How about you, the master of unlocking? You should take this lockpick.
Isn't there something about sandwiches as well? Like
Yeah, you're almost the Jill sandwich.
you almost a Jill
Yes.
sandwich.
Okay, so question 3 is for Joe. Oh, well, it's not a question, just the item Casey.
Oh, Casey.
Yeah, it's a game on the list. It's from a game on the list.
It's not like Dead Rising or something, is it? I'm trying to think of...
No. I pass it to Ollie?
I mean, complete guess. I think it might be too new, but maybe Alan Wake 2.
No. It's the bat from Earthbound.
Oh,
is it
why
like
is it called
Casey? Is it
Casey?
like from the poem, like Casey?
I thought the bat was it's named that in Gungeon. I don't know.
There's like a famous
Earthbound,
poem about like Casey to the bat, whatever it is, like Casey playing baseball. It's a really famous poem, right?
We'll never know. We can never find out. We'll never know.
Everyone else will be screaming
So,
on their screens, thinking, "How do we?"
You're
not know?
balanced on 1 point each at the moment. Next one's for Ollie. It's nano machines.
Oh, come on. It's obviously Metal Gear Solid. Let's go.
Well,
Of
not
course.
quite Metal Gear Solid. On the list,
Metal Gear
remember?
Oh, Rising, is it?
Oh, Rising then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising.
I'll give you that one. And then the next one for Joe is Roll Bomb.
Roll Bomb.
Yes. I thought you'd get this one quite easily. Clearly
I thought you
not.
would as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Maybe think about a character that rolls and...
Oh, like
It's
Sonic?
unnecessary.
Is it Sonic?
Sorry?
Sonic? No?
No.
Is it Super Metroid?
It is. Well done, Ollie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And the last one for Ollie was just for fun because he's already won. Inspector's Badge.
That's got to be Disco Elysium, right?
Nope.
Oh, I can
Oh,
see
is
it. Is it Ace Attorney?
Oh,
No, it's Papers, Please.
Oh,
Papers, please. Ace
Apparently
Attorney's
so.
attorney badge, whatever it is, right? He's
Yeah.
always like holding it up to people.
So well done. That was 3 to Ollie, 1 to Joe. I did have a tiebreaker just in case, which was Blasphemy. I don't know if either of you want to guess that one, just for fun.
the tiebreaker's Blasphemy. It's like, oh, don't say it. then, Neil.
The item's called, it's a weapon. It's called Blasphemy, and it looks like a sword. There you go. That's a clue.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
What
No,
do you
it's on the
reckon?
list. It's not on the list, is it?
Yeah, it's the item is in a game that's on the list. Yeah,
Oh, then I don't know what it is. No, I don't know.
it's the Master Sword. So it's a take on the Master Sword. So Tears of the Kingdom, I guess, is the game.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have got that from
Oh.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, maybe we've got that.
Can't believe you gave Ollie
well done,
Metal
Ollie.
Gear Solid and Resident Evil. That is outrageous.
I'm sorry.
PS1 classics, baby.
There isn't that many crossovers. I have to go for quite a limited amount.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4 times. Good enough.
Do you know if they have any? Have you come across any like Valve ones, like Gravity Gun or Portal Gun or anything? They
I
feel
can't
like
think of
I
any.
think-
You'd think there would be, wouldn't you?
or like the
I think it's a
crowbar
TFT.
even. No, it's not a
Maybe
gun.
it's TFT. Anyway, good time to ask this question. Bryn P from our Discord. Neil, I'm going to ask you first. What is your favourite gun in this or any video game?
Or any video game. Wow. I think in this, I really like I said before the holster gun because of how the cute little creatures that come out and help shoot along with you. In terms of any other video games, some of the Metal Gear Solid, I know we keep going back to it, but some of the guns in that are pretty fun, even though they're like realistic mostly guns.
Yeah.
They're like how they implement them's really fun. Like even the original Metal Gear with the Stinger, I feel like that was like looking at first person, and that makes me I am old, but it's aging me a bit because that was quite unique at the time to have that first person like tracking with the so to go from third person or more like it was like an isometric view, wasn't it?
Isometric,
to first person. Yeah, it was quite unusual. I quite like the weapons in that game. I like the Stinger, which is actually in this game. Stinger is
There you go.
as well.
Joe?
I mean, I just said gravity gun is an easy one, but it almost doesn't count. It's almost not a gun because it's a utility. So to be more true to the question, I guess I'd maybe say the Quake rocket launcher, just for like
Nice.
the
That's a good
movement it
answer.
unlocks, as well as just being great to shoot anyway. So yeah, probably that.
I think
cool.
the I mean, I've got loads of answers for this, but I think the Team Fortress 2 flamethrower unlocked something in my brain when I was like,
amazing.
I can flame my own team to find out if they're like an enemy spy. Like
spy
that
check.
in my brain, that like unlocked
Also
like a
the,
game design. Like, oh my god, I never.
And I
thought
was always
about
the
this
soldier. I just love rocket launchers, apparently.
before. I've got
use
the Quake one in TF2.
Did you ever use the reverse to push back the rockets as well with the pyro? Because the pyro could use the alternate fire was like to push air out, and you could actually deflect rockets back to the enemy, and they'd like mini crit.
I was out of TF2 when they started adding all that nonsense. Me and Joe were vanilla
original.
players. We were it wasn't. It wasn't on in the console version. Me and Joe were console players. We really slubbed it on the Xbox 360
Yeah.
playing TF2.
Where they had all of like the exploits and bugs, and they never did an update for it. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like you'd be locked in the little. Getting really off topic here, but that's what we do. Where you like in the little chamber that you're in before you start, and it's doing the countdown. Like you could shoot, like if you really lined it up, you could shoot through the gap. So everyone's like, before it starts, people are shooting through, like trying to destroy the turrets or take each other out. And they just never fixed it. They're like, there's loads of stuff like that.
Great game.
Also, just on the gun chat, as seeing as we're off topic, I've just played Metal Gear Solid Delta, and the boss's gun with the bullets spin like this as they fire. So cool. Do you remember that? She's like firing at the jet, and as like the bullets are coming out, instead of doing that, they're like flipping. It doesn't make any sense because obviously they're still bullet shaped, but they're like rolling. That's so cool and completely unrealistic.
Probably my number 2 would be the shotgun from anything, because shotguns are always just the most fun games, like my most fun guns, right? Shotguns always just
They're
so
fun.
fun.
Yeah. The Resident Evil triple barreled sawn off. It's got a laser sight stuck on it with a band-aid. I quite like that one as well because it's so stupid, as if that would just fly off when you fire it.
I guess.
Any more?
one, Neil?
Any more, Neil? Come on, mate.
You won't
thinking,
sleep
like-
otherwise. Get off your chest. What guns do you like? Come on. We're free men talking about video games.
Absolute
Let's talk
gun
about
nut.
guns.
Yeah, talk about guns. Come on.
I was thinking of Super Hot and how that game works, but it's more like all the bullets that you're dodging and throwing and stuff. That's a great game.
That is a great game. Okay. Spliced R1S said, which of the little bullet guys was your favourite? Simple. Joe, would you like to go first, or would you like to rack your brain?
Yeah, just the really basic ones, because they're the easy. Every time you're in a room, you see a bunch of
bullet
them, the
kid.
ones that just shoot one bullet every 4 seconds at you. Let me. Neil might have it more on top of his head, so let me think
go
if
on.
there's one that I really like.
There's a really cool bit. I think it's on the 4th floor where like you go into a room and it fades to black, and then a load of zombie bullets start coming out of the ground, like hordes of them start coming for you, and you have to shoot. You have to quickly shoot and defend yourself really quick. It's like very different to like what you used to, because it's almost rather than like slowly walking around the room dodging bullets, you've got like there's no bullets. They're just running at you to attack you. I really like that. That's cool.
Yeah, the running at you thing's really unusual in this game. Really, because obviously everyone's normally got guns, so they're not just like crowding you. My one was there's one little bullet guy that's just like he is flying around really slowly, and he kind of like fires bullets out the sides of him. I always quite liked fighting those ones because they would like fill the whole room with really slow bullets. It was like easy enough to dodge, but would always look absolutely crazy because they'd just be like.
I like
Have you thought of one?
the little dude that like hides in the corner and buffs someone. Like you'll see someone who's like stronger. And you know this one, and then you go in the corner and they're just there like, don't notice me. I like them.
Thank you, mate. You got something. Okay, last question. Last question. I've got a question for you, Joe. So Adam OI6NC, along with his comment, also said, "Do you guys prefer roguelikes or roguelites?" And then explain what the difference of those things are. One being you have meta progression, and one you do not. And I think I prefer the version where you don't, because then I don't get into my own head about not having the right bits, not having the right things to complete. but Muppet. What do you think?
I I prefer the ones where you do get progression. That's roguelite, isn't it? So is that the right way around?
Yep.
Let's get it confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not very good at those games normally, and it helps you out, and like so you get rewarded for enduring it and not enduring it. That sounds like I'm not enjoying myself, but like for learning the game. Plus, you get that little bit of extra help eventually. But there's a balance. You don't want it to be too easy, but I've never known a game to make it too easy.
True.
I definitely prefer roguelites, the ones with progression. But I like the ones that have progression similar to this and Slay the Spire, where it's not the character getting stronger. It's not you doing more damage, more health. It's not linear progression. It's, we're adding new things to the pool. Like in Slay the Spire, it's like, we're adding new cards, like more options for you to play with. You know, some of them might be good, but some of them might not be as good as other ones that you were using. And then this is kind of the same kind of thing where it's more the game is changing and expanding as you play rather than it being, nope, every run is exactly the same. And it's all just about the run. Like that's probably my favorite kind. Although I wouldn't, like, I don't dislike roguelikes. Like, obviously, Slay the Spire is one of my favorite games of all the time. I really enjoyed this. I love Hades. So it's not like, I won't play roguelikes. But say if they were listing off genres of a game and one of them was a roguelike, it doesn't make me, like, excited. I'm not like, good. Like, in generally, I'm like, if it's a really good one, I might like it. But, like, it's not a selling point to me. I wouldn't say I love roguelikes.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm actually playing you're saying jumping between Silksong and this. I'm actually playing Spelunky at the moment for the first time. Like I've never really properly sat down and played it. That's also brutally hard. But
that's even harder.
Unlike this game, there's not that many things. Like there really isn't that many things. It's like
but they all kill
you go to
you.
the shop and it's but you go to the shop. There's like one of 8 things you can buy, and it's like okay. And then also in Spelunky, whenever I die, I always feel like I did something stupid. Like I didn't look down the hole. I jumped down. I just went for it. And then anyway, fun game. The question I got for you, Joe, is because every single comment on this video is going to be about Silksong.
Okay.
We've already had people commenting saying, "Can you please play Silksong? Can you cover Silksong?" We're not going to cover Silksong, are we? Let's get it out there now.
No, we're not doing it for the. Well, I mean, you're not. You don't want to play it, right?
No, and also we're not doing it for the show. Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone. And
sorry.
you're not going to play Silksong on Stampede channel either, are you?
No, I'm already I'm already deep into it. But I mean, I'll discuss it on Extra Credit, our other podcast that we do. I will discuss it there and get my thoughts. Yeah, for those that are curious.
Right, I think it's list time, isn't it?
Let's put it on the list.
Did you know we have a Patreon? Maybe you're unsure what that is.
Patreon allows you to support us directly, and in return you get exclusive stuff. Access to our Discord server, behind-the-scenes content, and an exclusive podcast series.
Your support means we can up our production and continue making fun videos. You can join us at patreon.com/the bonus points. And it has a free trial too.
Woohoo!
Okay, so the list. Do you want to do Death Stranding 2 first or after?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, I guess we haven't mentioned it in this podcast. I have now finished Death Stranding 2. So I have a complete picture of it. And you've played it as well, Neil?
Yep.
Okay.
Finished it. Well,
okay.
I say all done. Got credits.
Okay, good.
So we can talk spoilers now. Spoilers, Death Stranding 2 spoilers are probably going to happen now. So
okay, yeah. Well, I think Death Stranding 2 first, I think. And then we'll end with Gungeon, the finale.
Okay.
I mean, so for me, I really enjoyed the ending. It lived up to the way you described it, Ollie, in terms of how, I don't know, extravagant it is. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word.
It's quite extreme, I think.
Yeah. But I think the not just the ending, but you know, the final third of the game that I played, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't enough for me to prefer it over Death Stranding 1. So I wouldn't be looking to put it up because of it. And obviously it's a little higher, you know, I wouldn't have it above Hollow Knight, for example, or Tears of the King. So if anything, I'd want to put it down, but like playing the ending hasn't affected anything from we settled in the last one. Like my opinions on it haven't changed in a meaningful way essentially.
Yeah. Actually, Neil, what did you think of the ending?
Yeah, so it's quite an epic ending, isn't it? It goes absolutely true Kojima crazy. I was far more invested in the story in this one compared to the first game. I guess that's because I sort of know some of the characters from the first game. Some of the newer characters were quite interested, like who's that guy? He's called Neil something.
Oh, Neil Varner.
He's Neil Varner. Nirvana, yeah. He's quite like an unusual character, and like you can like glean little bits from his past and why he's got to where he's got. Oh god, I'm forgetting the characters' names now because I haven't played the game in a while.
Describe them. I'll tell you what they're called.
The female character with blonde hair, and she's like a ninja. And
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. There you go. So yeah, that's an interesting character.
I didn't see this twist coming with her about who she
was.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were going to go
game
there.
is tomorrow's in your hands.
Yeah,
you're holding her. Like, that's all.
So you really saw it coming. That she's Lou.
Yeah, I'd probably text Neil and said
in retrospect. I definitely should have, because you're almost building like a fatherly relationship towards her. I felt anyway, as like I always felt like the relationship between Sam and her very subtly was like he was almost like.
I realized that, but I thought that was just because he's that fatherly thing. You know, it's like I thought it was like Neil and Ellie, or Noel and Joel and Ellie. Neil Varner,
the Muppet of us, the last of Muppets.
Neil Varner.
Okay, I don't want to come in here. I don't have enough time, but I don't want to sound like a hater. But I actually think the ending is bad, and it made me not like the game as much as it would have done. The thing that kept ringing in my mind was Joe saying like, "Oh, the bosses should be like an exam. Everything you've learned up to this point." And the ending of the game is just like you're playing guitar. And I'm like, what's this guitar got to do with anything? Yeah. It's never even been in the game before. And all of a sudden, we're playing guitar all the time. And it was just like, it's just like, I didn't play for this long. And maybe it's my own fault for getting that invested in the story for the ending to be like funny. And I was like, it's just like, what's happening? This is stupid. And also that one bit where Die Hard Man, like his whole reveal was great. Loved that when he came out and he was like, DHV stands for Die Hard Man Vehicle, and winks at the camera. Which was like, that's funny, but like the only bit of the whole game that Bridie saw was Die Hard Man's dance. She didn't see any other part of Death Stranding 2. She was like, why do you like this game? And I was like, I don't know. I was so embarrassed. She thought I was watching Eurovision. But anyway, I just thought the whole ending was like, I'm way too committed, too many hours into this franchise for the ending to be like a laugh, which I feel like it kind of was with all the guitar playing in the giant baby. And it's just like, it didn't. I feel like the Neil Varner stuff wasn't really satisfying, didn't really wrap up in any kind of way. Like, I know that I fully 100% understand the plot of what happened with him, but I just don't think it was really satisfying in the way that Mads Mikkelsen's character was in the first one, and they kind of aped it and they didn't really pay off the same way. And I really feel like after I did that last delivery where you go down to the South Islands, that's like you connected by a road, to me that felt like the end of the game. But then there was another 3 hours after that of like just madness happening. That's, it's funny to see it, but it just didn't resonate in the way that I'd hoped. So yeah, I think the ending made the game, for me, it made the game less enjoyable. So I'd be happy to move it down. But I couldn't say any of that when we did it before because I didn't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it a little bit lower anyway. So if you're happy to move it down,
I'd probably
where to?
I mean, I'd split up. Maybe I'd split up the Last of Us twins.
So it's currently at number 6, and then Last of Us 1 is at 10, and then 2 is at 11.
I think maybe Last of Us Part 2 could go back into the top 10, and Death Stranding 2 could go to 11.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, because I mean, I still prefer Last of Us 2 over 1. I'm not putting up I had it that way round for a long time, so I'm not. Yeah, I'm not asking to change that as well. But yeah, it'd be nice to get them up, and then Hollow Knight at number 6
is up. Hollow Knight's up again.
Yeah,
there we go. Perfect timing with Silk Song being out as well. Perfect timing. But yeah, I'm not a hater by any means. The game is, from a gameplay perspective, Death Stranding 2 is unbelievable. It's so good. Graphically, obviously amazing, like funny writing, fun characters, but yeah, the ending just was a bit of a wet fart for me. So
The stuff with Fragile
Maybe-
I quite liked. Like the way their relationship
yeah.
ended.
yeah, but mate, you got to think that crazy thing about her being like, I knew I died on the other side, and because of the way time works, blah blah blah. That is in the same game where it's like, let's shred, and then you play guitar, and it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
but
Like,
that's
this is-
every Kojima game. Like that's
yeah, no, because they're not all
Expect
funny.
it.
They all have funny bits, but they don't all hinge on something funny, which is where I think it fell short. Like they don't have the main spectacle of the ending being like a bit of a joke.
I
which is-
think
just
I
thought
think
was
where
a
it
shame.
didn't work was like Sam getting the guitar and playing back.
Mhm.
I think if Higgs was doing the guitar and you were doing something else combating the guitar, I think it would have worked better rather than a
Yeah,
Battle of the
100%.
Bands kind of guitar.
100%.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree
because
with
like
you
the
there.
guitar thing was like Higgs's weird character quirk, and you kind of took it at face value because he's a weird guy. But then once you start doing it, it's more like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I feel like like it's not in Sam's character to shred.
No. No. Anyway, anything else on Death Stranding 2 before then we can say spoilers end?
No, we just say so. It's now at number 11. Just
Okay.
to
Neil?
Nope, you carry on.
Okay. Spoilers away. Right. Enter the Gungeon.
okay. So this will be 91 on the 91st entry onto the
Yep.
list.
The year I was born.
So-
1991.
It sounds like I'm hotter on it than you, which I wouldn't have expected. I get just because
Mm-hmm.
of the bullet hell nature. This is kind of arcadey games in general tend to be more your kind of style than mine.
Yep.
But like often the times it will sound in the conversation like someone's way hotter on it than the other, and then we end up either agreeing or actually it's the other way around of the list. So it's hard to go in there. So do you want to kind of go first, and then I'll see whether I feel like it's out of place.
Yeah, I think a big thing with the difficulty is it kind of is my problem. Like, I would get better at it if I played it more, and I didn't. So
Well, I think it's
understand
not.
that.
I think you're thinking of it as getting better at it, but I think it's more just coming to terms with that you die a lot like that. I think that's it's more down. I don't think it's about how good you are. It's not about how like hard you hit. It's about how much you get up when you're knocked down. Whatever it is. What's the saying? Like,
Yeah, how quickly you get up after being hit or something. Yeah, the Rocky saying.
Yeah.
I would put it probably. Look, I like the game. I like everything about it, other than the fact that it's really difficult. I mean, I did have runs where I was soaring. I was absolutely soaring and loving it. So I'd probably put it. It'd be in the top 25 for sure. I think I'd struggle to go above 16. So, which is Medieval Madness. And the bottom end of 25 is doing the Dark Ages. I think I enjoyed my month with this game more than I did with doing the Dark Ages.
yeah. So you're higher than me.
Okay, so where would you put it? It's a great game. It's just hard.
Yeah. Like I think it just. Like I think I just have very few negatives about it, but then like I didn't have like crazy highs either. Like I think it will fit nicely, almost like into the category where like a puzzle game you really like and you always have installed and you always will go back to, and it's always enjoyable and reliably fun. Like that's and I realize the game can be more than that. Like there is the depth there if you take it further. Maybe if I did co-op, like I think it could be more than that. But that is where it kind of lived for me. And so like games like Earthbound or like Outer Wilds, they gave me something more than that. So I probably wouldn't want it above them. So
Where's that? Okay, that's 32, 33.
Yeah, that's 32, 33. And then Driver San Francisco I always run into because I always love that. That's one of the ones I want higher. So I guess I'd probably say under 36 is where I'd be looking at. Kind of maybe around Rocket Slime, Dragon Quest Rocket Slime.
Well, the way you've described it, the closest analog to your description would probably be Mr. Driller, which is a puzzle game that you probably always have installed. I don't know if you do. I do.
I haven't actually gone back to it, but yeah.
Oh
I guess
my God.
It would. Yeah, I think I preferred Gungeon than this because I really enjoyed the variety of all of the different weapons and how the different runs are. Whereas Mr. Driller is solid, but it's very similar every single
Just going down.
run that you go. And so I found maybe Gungeon a little bit more, doing multiple runs back to back, which I probably wouldn't do with Mr. Driller in the same way. So I'd say somewhere between like 36 and maybe 45. Like the Forgotten City is another one that I always struggle with because I think it's too low. So it's kind of somewhere around that area is probably where I'd put it. We haven't kind of asked you, Neil.
He's sitting very politely. He's sitting very nicely and politely.
So ignoring
so he's
us.
just listening at this point. It's so weird being able to talk back.
If you had free reign to put it wherever you want, I know obviously the list you would probably want to reshuffle entirely anyway, but like if you had to stick with our list as it is and just slot it in somewhere, where would you go personally?
I would probably put it just after Donkey Kong 94 because I played along with that one, and that was like even though I had a Game Boy back in the day, I never had that game, and that was like I couldn't believe how good that game was.
So
So that's a 23 for audio listeners.
Incredible game, and that would probably beat it just about for me. I really liked Undertale, but like for me, I get much more enjoyment from this sort of game than Undertale. Doom the Dark Ages.
Few similarities actually in terms of dodging.
Yeah, I guess so.
And Doom the Dark Ages.
I loved.
Yeah,
but like
there's a bullet hell section.
It's like it was. I feel not as unique, even though it's incredible little game. I really liked it. I feel like that's fair. And then Half-Life Alyx is just amazing. Like you can't go above that. So yeah, probably where I'd stick it if it was my choice. But obviously it's not.
I think I've thought of somewhere and a reason why this might make all of us happy. I think Enter the Gungeon could quite happily sit with Helldivers 2, as Neil is our fellow Helldiver as well.
That's true.
It's kind of between all of where we said, and that's a nice little reason to put it together.
I've appeared before in avatar form on the on this pod.
There you go. I think
so
around
that was my
there.
first appearance.
I think maybe Earthbound should go above Helldivers 2, and then this can go between Helldivers 2 and Pikmin 4.
Yeah, I was thinking I kind of want Earthbound higher. Like, we kind of
Earthbound
knew it.
go.
Earthbound is a game that you're only going to remember the good bits. You're only going to remember the vibes and the music, and not the little annoyances.
Eating cookies repeatedly, trying to get 5 health. So then that would make it Earthbound 29, Helldivers 2 30, Enter the Gungeon 31, Pikmin 32, Subterra 33. What do you think about that?
Yeah, can we put Outer Wilds above Pikmin 4? Just while we're here. Just while we're tidying this shelf.
Yes, we can. So then
that think about the guy who updates the website when you're doing all this.
Also, can we just close the screen quick, and can you just move one thing but we don't mention what you move?
Mate, there's been some times where I think like, God, Neil must have let through. Like times when we've done it wrong. I think like, God, Neil must think like, what the hell are we doing? We've like left a game like over here somewhere. And it's like, I just don't hear anything about it. It's like, did that get moved? Did that not?
It's always obvious, I think, because you say where it goes. So,
Neil, we don't normally do this. I normally get Ollie to do this. But do you want to kind of read out loud the section that we've entered Enter the Gungeon, just so audio listeners can see how the bullets have landed?
Sure. So from 31 onwards?
Go for it.
If you like.
Okay, so now at 31 is Enter the Gungeon, followed by 32 Outer Wilds, 33 Pikmin 4, 34 Subterra, and 35 Killer 7.
I like that you started sounding like Top of the Pops for all of the fellow old British people that will understand that reference, and then you turned into, once again, probably only old English people will know British people. It sounded like the lottery you kind of went into.
Basically, I sound old. It's the common theme across both of those voices.
You started going like, you in at number 31, Enter the Gungeon. By the end, you were like, and now number 35.
I'm going to come round with my walking stick and smack you for that.
I didn't mean you sound old. I mean, there were young people on those shows. Those shows just aren't around anymore. Well, like, I don't know. I guess do they still do lottery on TV?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Do you guys? It's called Lotto now.
I kind of felt I fell into like the football results as well.
Yes,
which is something I remember from when I was a kid. They used to read it out on TV.
Yeah.
My dad would be watching it, and I would be absolutely bored, like so badly bored.
That would be like Dead Island 2, 36, Drive to San Francisco 37.
Subterra postponed.
Yeah. Oh. Well, thank you so much, Neil, for obviously bringing Enter the Gungeon into our lives, and congrats to Enter the Gungeon for 31. Very nice, very nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, very happy with that.
Fire some
Would you
bullets
guys-
in the air to celebrate.
Yeah. Would you guys like to hear what's coming up?
Yeah, sure.
So October, next month, we have Extra Credit, Patreon exclusive show, but we don't have a main podcast episode because me and the sweet Prince Joseph Garrett will be in Japan living our best lives for 10 days, covering the whole recording, editing time we normally have. We're going to be in Japan, but we are going to be filming some things out there. So there will be a new video at some point of us and our times in Japan. But back to the podcast. The next episode will actually be November 28th, which we're going to not do a game, but we're instead going to have a little shuffle of what's already there on the list, which we, behind the scenes, we keep threatening to do and talking about it. Like, we need to just mess it all up and start again.
We need to tidy the whole room, not just one shelf. If we gotta,
the whole thing needs to be done.
We gotta tackle this whole space.
So yeah, that'll be November 28th, and then we have December, and within December, we don't know which way round these are going to be, but we're going to do the Christmas quiz with Jack Marshall, of course, will be the 5th one, and we're also going to do Game of the Year 2025. So there we go, and then Extra Credit, one a month, every month, no change there, all the way up until Christmas. So yeah. Also, on our Patreon, we have the Discord server, which Neil runs. A book club, don't you, Neil? You got a chance to talk about it in public.
Oh wow, yeah. So the book, I wasn't prepared for this.
No, I dropped you in. I'm sorry.
I've forgotten the name of the book. So so for this month, each year we've done normally a theme book around Halloween and Christmas, and we're doing the same again this year. So we're doing Trapdoor by Dredus A. Mitchell, unusual name. So yeah, that's on the 29th of October. So yeah, if you join ahead of them and read that book, you're welcome to join us.
Nice.
And then there's lots of other, I think book club's probably one of the smaller events. There's obviously other game nights that we do, and I believe there's the bonus points DLC, which I've not been to. I think that's like an alternative to this, yes. Where the community are playing games and discussing it, and I think they've got their own list. Oh, we've got a list for book club as well. It's more of a rank rather than a list.
Yeah.
So we keep in theme with the podcast.
Yeah. So you guys, as well as the bonus points DLC, meet up once a month, right? To discuss. That's kind of how it works, and then you rank it on the list. Yeah. And the bonus points DLC, they're doing the games that all the commenters ask us to do. So they're doing Silk Song and what's that new Undertale game called? Deltarune. It's okay, you're doing the games people actually want to do. So
you're doing the games that would get way more listeners.
Yeah, but they meet up and talk about those. And then also we have game nights that's coming surprisingly common, probably almost 2 or 3 a week, including the game Peak, which anyone's played that. It's a lot of fun. I think that's it for bonus points.
Is there anything else you wanted to plug or mention? Any social media or even not related to anything that you just want to shout out at all? This is your chance.
No, not really. I don't have anything. I'm not a social media type person or have any sort of media presence in any way, shape, or form other than this. So no, I don't.
What about a favourite TV show?
Yeah, go on.
What's the thing that people should watch?
That's a good one. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I've really been enjoying the latest series of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. If you like Star Trek or anything like that, I
didn't know they were still making it.
Yeah, how many have you got to watch before you get to that one?
Oh God, you don't have to. You can just start with this one. You just wouldn't understand half the references.
Something I did start watching the other day was Firefly. I had never seen. Speaking of old sci-fi,
I watched that.
That is great. Yeah, well done. Yeah.
That's I've only seen the first episode, so I'll probably talk about that in Extra Credit once I've seen a few more.
Nice.
Great. Yeah, I can't look forward to hearing about it. And then you got to watch Serenity as well after the series.
Oh, okay.
The film,
right?
afterwards.
The film.
Is
Yeah.
it? Okay. All right.
That's a very good film. One of my favourite films of all time, actually. I love that.
God,
I didn't know I had that to look forward to.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Off topic now. Right, let's wrap this up. Joe, would you like to?
This is when
If you're still listening to hour and 45 minutes in, if you're still here, this is what you
where
get.
Ollie's co-hosting steps up. Is when the host goes off the rails, and we spend half the podcast talking about Silk Song and Firefly. You know, we've really
Come on.
we've really got a
Bug
weird
related, all bug related things.
but yeah, no, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. All over. End of the
Right.
episode. Thanks for watching or listening. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.